Okay, so Rondale Moore is the number one wide receiver in this draft class. And you might say he's small. Yes, he's small. Tyreek Hill is small. I mean, he is so electric. Guys just don't move like him.
What are you doing? What are you doing? This is my show.
I'm not done.
What's going on, all you brainiacs out there, and welcome back to yet another Football Draft Friday. Sorry for that little introduction. I was hijacked by my roommate, Ben Pfeiffer, who absolutely loves Rondale Moore, and I understand why. Rondale Moore is incredibly athletic, and I'll get into all of that in this video. Talk about where he's good, what my concerns are, and where I think he could end up, and why it would be good for his fantasy value. Let's get it rolling.
Welcome to The Lab.
So Moore out of Purdue is a guy who's as high as number 4 on some people's draft boards. Obviously, you've got the big three of Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Waddle in whatever order you want to put those guys. But some people have Rondale Moore at 4. A little bit rich for my taste, but I can understand why. Rondale Moore is a freak athlete. Now, even though he only stands at 5'9", 180 pounds, athleticism can get you to be a wide receiver 1 even at those measurements. Take a look at Tyreek Hill. Now, the question is, does he have that same athleticism that Tyreek Hill has, which allows him to be a top number 1 wide receiver in the league? That's a high bar of athleticism to reach, and that's where I get a little bit skeptical with him. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys his tape, and I'll let you determine for yourselves. Here you go. Now getting into the film for Rondale Moore. Moore out of Purdue is really, he's a phenomenal receiver, and he's almost as high as number 4 on some people's boards for a reason. Rondale Moore is very fast, and we'll get into that a little bit. Today I'm just going to show you some tape of him versus Minnesota and Ohio State primarily, and you'll get the opportunity to see, what makes Moore a receiver that a lot of people have such high hopes for, that a lot of people have even as high as number 4 on their board, and then I'll get into a little bit of some concerns that I see with him. So starting off, I just want to start off with what he does so well, and that's his speed. I mean, Rondale Moore is a game-changing speed. You'll see him coming here with the jet sweep, and look at that. I mean, he just finds the hole. He hit that like a running back, finding the hole. Just nobody to catch him. I mean, and a lot of what he has and something that Tyreek Hill has and what makes Tyreek Hill so good is short area acceleration. And, Tyreek Hill, why is his speed so much more dangerous than other receivers' speed? It's because he can go from 0 to 100 in half a second. Rondale Moore has a lot of that same, energy and acceleration ability in him. Now, I'm not saying he's as fast as Tyreek Hill or can do it as well, but he can do it at a very high level, very high enough level to be successful in the NFL. So here's another jet sweep. You'll just see him catch the edge. I mean, look at number 30 there trying to catch him. It's just no chance. Moore just smokes him, finds the corner, and is in the end zone. That's a touchdown, easy touchdown. And those are some of the plays and opportunities you get with Rondale Moore that, a lot of receivers who don't have that speed won't be able to do. Here you'll see a little bit of a blown coverage. You see Rondale Moore wide open, this cornerback, safety, whatever he is, about 10 yards, 9 yards downfield. Rondale Moore catches the ball. Look, he's still got almost 5 yards of separation. And what does he do? Puts a little juke move on him, catches the corner. Number 16, no chance. Has no chance. We'll see here from a couple different angles. Watch this. All right, there you go. He's out in the flat, wide open. Oh, nice little move. And, I mean, it's that acceleration. You see just how fast and how far he can take that top speed and how soon he can get there. So it's the acceleration that really makes Rondale Moore as special as he is. Here we're going to see another one of his abilities, and that's what I like to call the shake and bake ability. Look at that. That's another thing that Tyreek Hill does so well, the ability to navigate through traffic and really, create opportunities, because there's nothing there. I mean, look at this. He catches the ball out in the flat. Catches the ball, runs a nice little out route sort of thing there, catches the ball, all right? He's got a defender. What does he do? Oh, he makes a miss, breaks through an arm tackle right there. He's got 2 defenders coming at him, and he splits them. No chance That's a special thing. And then he makes another one miss. That's 4 opportunities for him to be tackled that he created for himself, and it took the fifth time was a charm there to bring him down. So those are opportunities that Rondale Moore creates. Here you'll see it from a different angle. Runs that nice little out, catches it, boom, breaks 1 tackle, 2, 3 tackles, and he just, he's really, really fast and really has a nice ability to weave through traffic. Here you're just going to see a great catch, and obviously, what's the most important thing for a receiver to be able to do? Catch the ball. That's kind of their job. So here you'll see a nice little touch pass there in the back of the end zone. Keeps the foot in. That was textbook there. Nothing to be mad about. The coverage was fine. But you know what? The throw was better than the catch. Look at this. He makes the catch. He gets 1 foot down. Now, obviously, in the NFL, you're going to want to bring the 2nd foot down, which he doesn't do, but that's not something that's important in college and not something a lot of guys in college do, because if you don't have to do it, why would you do it, But, that's just a phenomenal catch and shows an ability to be able to do that at the next level, since that, at the next level, coverage is going to be tighter. That coverage was right on him, but it didn't matter. He still absolutely caught a dime. Here you'll see another great catch from Rondale Moore. You just see he's running over the middle. You see number 1 or number 2 is draped all over him. It doesn't matter. Moore's got it in there. No problem. Look at this. Number 13 quarterback steps back. Number 1, that might even be holding or PI with that arm draped all over him. It didn't matter. Rondale Moore made the catch. That's just really strong hands right there, and something that you love to see for a receiver. And we'll show one more catch. Quarterback overthrows him a little bit. Doesn't matter. Gets both feet in, catches the ball. That's just a professional type play right there. It doesn't matter that he overthrew him. That's as outstretched as you can get there. That's as, just look at that. That's as outstretched as you can get. Doesn't matter. Makes the catch. Gets 2 feet in, actually, which is not something you have to do in college, like I mentioned earlier, but a very, very good thing to see when analyzing them for the NFL. Here, you're just going to see some nice little route running. Now, this is obviously this is just a crossing route, right? There's nothing special about this route, but it's what he does that makes it special. Look at this. He sees, all right, you've got number 30 or whoever that is lined up right across from him, number 29. Oh, number 20 rushing the quarterback. But look, nice little step. Watch. Did you see how that defender flew past him? Let's watch that again. Let's watch that again. Right here. Oh my gosh. He created all of that separation from that little move. That's a very subtle move, but it's harder to do the subtle moves and takes a special kind of talent to do those subtle moves than just, anybody can run a route. It's those subtle things that really, really set the top guys apart, and something Rondale Moore does well. And look at that. He breaks a tackle, still going. The toughness is incredible, and here you'll see it again. Look at that. He breaks a tackle, and it's so hard to bring him down, Rondale Moore is 5'9". He is not a big guy, but he plays like he is so much bigger than he is. And you're going to see that again here. Look at that. Accelerates past that guy, breaks through this tackle, and takes it to the house. He's 5'9". Those guys are a lot bigger than him, but it doesn't matter because he breaks through the tackle, he takes it to the end zone. You'll see it again here. Catches the ball. First off, the acceleration is very evident there. Zooms past that guy. Number 12 has him wrapped up, completely wrapped up. Let's see size difference. Number 12 is obviously bigger, but it doesn't matter because Rondale Moore is that special. He just blew past him, got to the end zone, not a problem. Now, here is where we get into a little bit of the worst stuff with Rondale Moore. I did see some drops that I wasn't a huge fan of, this being one of them. That's, he's wide open. That should be a textbook catch, right? He dropped the ball. You see he's upset with himself. That's just one that you have to bring in every single time. There's no excuse for dropping that ball, right? But what I did like to see is just a couple plays later, this happened. Catches the ball, scores a touchdown. I mean, that's something that you really want to see out of wide receivers. If you make a mistake, those happen, right? You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But what I want to see is I want to see you not get in the dumps. I want to see you come around and say, hey, that's on me. Now throw me the ball and I'm going to score a touchdown. And that's exactly what Rondale Moore did there. So really well done. Here is another one of the issues that I saw with him, and that's his desire to play hero ball. Now, you see, this is against Nevada, so it should be a pretty easy win for Purdue. And that ball, he lets it go behind him, tries to pick it up, and he fumbles it. And he can't pick it up. This is a horrendous decision, and not something you can ever do, and something that has to be coached out of him. What does he want to do? He wants to make a play. He wants to be the hero. But you know what? Sometimes you can't be the hero. Sometimes you just have to let it go. And that's something that, I don't hate seeing it because it means that he wants to win and he's a competitor, as, all of these guys should be competitors, right? So it's definitely good to see that he wants to always be making a play. But at the end of the day, you cannot do this. This is something that you have to that's a huge, huge, huge mistake that he made there. So that's the film on Rondale Moore. Overall a very good prospect, super fast receiver, and a guy that I think could have a lot of success in the NFL. So some people have absolutely fallen in love with Rondale Moore, and I can't blame them. On top of just his speed and quickness, he's also really tough to bring down and has showed high development and a high level of play from an early age, which is good when it comes to talking about his future potential when it comes to development and where he can end up. The concerns that I have with him are, of course, the size. Will he ever be more than a number 2 wide receiver on a team? Because to be 5'9" and a number 1 option, you have to have a level of athleticism or at least route running ability that is elite, that is higher than 99.9% of receivers in the league. Do I think he gets there? That's where I'm not sure. Now, that's not saying he doesn't deserve to be a first-round pick. A very good number 2 wide receiver absolutely deserves to be taken in the first round. Take a look at Atlanta when they selected Calvin Ridley in the first round, knowing very well that they still have the stud Julio Jones. They knew exactly what they were doing in this past season. That obviously paid off for them. Rondale Moore could be put into a similar situation early on. The question is, will he ever be able to eclipse that number 2 spot and become a number 1 wide receiver? And that's why I have him a little bit lower in my rankings. Rondale Moore, especially in his first year, is definitely not going to be more than a number 2 wide receiver. And when it comes to fantasy value, that could absolutely limit his upside. Now, if he comes in and makes a big splash like he did as a freshman in Purdue, if he makes that same leap to the pro level as he did from the high school to college level, absolutely he will find a way to produce at the NFL level. I think there are a lot of great spots for him. If you pair Rondale Moore with a team that needs a speedy slot receiver, a team that maybe has an established number 1 receiver but needs that speedy slot guy, doesn't have that, I think is an absolute ideal place for Rondale Moore, and no better place to start than at number 19 with the Washington football team. They've got Terry McLaurin as the number 1 guy, the clear number 1. They have nobody behind him. They absolutely need a second receiver, especially a smaller, fast guy. He will fit in with Terry McLaurin so well. If he ends up at number 19 with the Washington football team, which is pretty much the highest I think he'll go, he could absolutely have a great season for fantasy. Looking at another place that he would be a great fit, you don't really have to go far because one pick later, number 20, the Chicago Bears could absolutely use a guy like Rondale Moore. Darnell Mooney had a good rookie season. You've got, of course, Anthony Miller there, though he hasn't been great. But then you have Allen Robinson, assuming they re-sign him as a clear number 1. Rondale Moore, if he comes in with that athleticism and really shows that he can be that number 2 guy, that would be a great spot for him in Chicago. With Rondale Moore, I can see scenarios where he ends up in a lot of other places following that Chicago pick, still in the first round. Tennessee at 22, I think if they don't re-sign Corey Davis, he could end up there and have a good season. He could absolutely end up at 24 to the Pittsburgh Steelers if they don't re-sign Juju. But I think the next place that I really like him for fantasy, depending on who the quarterback is New Orleans there alongside Michael Thomas. I think he could find a lot of success. Emmanuel Sanders is aging. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him next year because I believe he's a free agent. Rondale Moore ending up there could be very, very good. And one pick later, number 29, the Green Bay Packers would be another great spot for him since they don't really have an established wide receiver. I really like Allen Lazard, but is he a wide receiver too? I'm not sure. If they could bring in Rondale Moore, and he would probably be an upgrade at that position. And of course, Davante Adams is going to pull the main coverage. Rondale Moore could find himself in a great situation there with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback and as the second option in that offense. Now, he could absolutely fall out of the first round and end up somewhere in the second round, depending on where teams value him and if they think he even could become at some point a number one wide receiver. I mean, you look at options in the second round, places you really don't want to see him end up are places like Atlanta, where he would be the clear number 3 option at the most, or places like Cincinnati, they're at 38, where he would be a backup to Tyler Boyd and an eventual replacement, but for next season, he obviously would not find that much success because Tyler Boyd is there. He's the slot guy. They've got T. Higgins, all those other options. You don't want him to find himself. I wouldn't even like Philadelphia at 37 because I just don't know what to expect out of that receiver room. There's a lot of really young guys. You've got Travis Fulgham, who broke out, Jalen Reagor. You've got Dallas Goedert, of course, Zach Ertz. You don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be. Those are some places where Rondale Moore would probably not have a lot of opportunity to make an impact as a rookie. But then you move down a little bit. You look at Carolina at 39. Are they going to re-sign Curtis Samuel? And if they don't, Rondale Moore would absolutely be in line to receive the workload that Curtis Samuel got last season. Detroit at 41. Kenny Galladay's a free agent. What are they going to do? Marvin Jones is a free agent. Are they going to franchise tag Galladay? And even if they do, particularly if they do, Rondale Moore can come in and be the clear number 2 there. That would be a great spot for him, assuming obviously that offense isn't just a dumpster fire. 46, you've got the Patriots there in desperate need of wide receiver help. You look at N'Keal Harry, could he work out? I'm not sure, but he's not that fast guy that Rondale Moore is. They could be good complements for each other if the Patriots still feel like N'Keal Harry could be that number 1 wide receiver there. He could also be paired with Jacoby Myers there. Rondale Moore could carve himself out a big role in that Patriots offense if he lands there. And assuming, of course, that they get a quarterback. Look, I'm not sure if he falls much past there, but of course, it's always a possibility. The one thing that you want to look for when Rondale Moore gets drafted, you want to see, does that team already have a clear and established number 2 wide receiver? If the answer to that question is no, I think Rondale Moore could absolutely have a productive fantasy season. If the answer to that question is yes, I would probably hold off a little bit, even if Rondale Moore gets drafted to a team where he could potentially be the number 1 wide receiver. A team like Jacksonville, I know they have DJ Chark, I know they have Laviska Shenault, but I still think there's a little bit up in the air. I talked about Philadelphia earlier. There's a lot up in the air in that wide receiver corps. Don't know how much I would like the fit, even if he has the possibility of being a number 1, because I don't think that he in his first year will be able to take that coverage and produce much with it. Thank you guys for sticking with me through that video. I hope now you have a better understanding of Rondale Moore, why some people like him, why some people are a little bit hesitant on him, and I hope you understand why it is that I have him at number 7 in my rankings. It's not at all an indication of I don't think Rondale Moore can be successful. He may very well move into my top 5 depending on what his numbers are at the combine. He just has to show that level of athleticism to where he could be the number 1 wide receiver on a team. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Click that bell so that every time we post a video, you know. Have a great day, guys.